We've talked a little bit about how the doshas correspond to the seasons, but let's talk a little bit how the doshas correspond to the stages of life. Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, our doshas, correspond to every little stage of our life. So we have Kapha as our first stage of life, which is birth to young adult. And this is the stage of life where an individual needs a lot of relationship building and an environment that's really nurturing and loving and safe. It's a time of extensive physical growth. And if you look at the qualities of Kapha and some of the symptoms you feel in Kapha, which is sometimes like heaviness or mucus or more water in the body, because remember, Kapha is made of earth and water. This is what little babies are like. They're heavy and dense, and they have a lot of mucus or liquids in them and a little extra baby fat. And so that's the Kapha time of life. And you move out of that as they grow into the next stage of life, which is the Pitta stage of life, which is considered to be young adult to senior. And that starts about puberty time. And that's when the fire really starts to pick up in the body. And remember that Pitta is mostly fire with a little bit of water. And how that corresponds to our individual dosha is it's a time of transformation. Things are really heating up in our life. The hormones are pumping. You might experience a lot more intensity and activity and a lot of accomplishment. This is the phase of life that's really productive in career, in college, in schools, raising a family. And so someone might experience at this time of life more Pitta type symptoms, which would be overheating, exhaustion of the mind, acne, things like that when Pitta gets really going or out of balance. And then if you move to the next stage of life, you'd come on to the Vata stage of life, which is the senior to death stage. This is an age of reflection on life's events. It's a time where someone can really share their wisdom and their experiences and focus more on their spirituality, which is super important as one approaches the transformation from like this life into the next existence. And just as in the Vata season or a Vata constitution, the Vata time of life is drier. It's this is where you might experience more wrinkles and brittle bones. You're more fragile, but you have this beautiful clarity, crispness to life, and can really reflect deeply. Remember that Vata is made up of air and ether, and so it's going to be lighter, and everything feels a little lighter at this time in your life as well. So it's really important to understand Vata, Pitta, and Kapha not only through the seasons and as our individual constitutions, but through these stages of life, so we can recognize them in ourselves all the time, every season, at every stage of the life.